Hi and welcome to the Mum Boss Method podcast. I'm Chrissy and I'm the Mum Boss. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. Obviously, I am recording this on Monday. You might not be listening to it on Monday. It could be Friday and you're like, the weekend's just coming, Chrissy. What's wrong with you? Yes, but anyway, I hope that you had a lovely weekend. I did. I had a gorgeous weekend. I had a weekend that really filled my cup, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today, because on having that kind of weekend and then coming into work today and doing my client check-ins, which I do every Monday, I have really been reflecting on, what summer brings, the joy, if you're going on holiday, hopefully nicer weather. I mean, we've certainly had some joyous weather, if not a little bit too hot recently, but it also brings a lot of chaos with it. And I think that this time of the year, there are two times of the year, I think, as mums, and certainly perimenopausal mums, life is chaotic. And I think it's the summer holidays and I think it's Christmas. And I don't care. That doesn't sound right. I don't think it matters how old your children are. I don't think it matters if they are preschool, primary school, secondary school, or they're older. I think that this time of year, summer and Christmas, are really, really tough for mums, because there is this invisible load. It's the meals, it's the plans, it's the entertaining kids, it's the being a taxi to kids, it's making sure everyone is in the right place where they need to be. And if you're going on holiday, normally you're the one that's doing all the organising. It's keeping your cool in the heat, literally and emotionally. I'm saying that as I'm one of those people that likes to have a cup of tea no matter what the weather. And I just had my little afternoon cup of tea, and now I can just feel the heat from the tips of my toes to the top of my head. But yeah, keeping your cool in the heat, literally and emotionally. And this episode is to your permission slip to put yourself back on the list, because summer self-care is survival. It's not being selfish. And so I want to just go through with you a few tips and a few reframes around self-care and some of the things that you can do and why this is going to help you throughout the summer. But the first thing I want to do is kind of check your mindset a little bit and redefine that self-care piece, because a lot of people, and I've talked about this ever since I started my business. I talked about this, I think, on episode 1 of this podcast, about self-care not being selfish, but also really defining what self-care is and really recognising that it's not just bubble baths and spa days and going to get your nails done. And those things are great. Do not get me wrong, those things are amazing. But self-care is about regulation, it's about nourishment, it's about energy, it's about joy. And I literally want you to think of yourself as a cup. I want you to think of yourself as a cup, and that self-care is doing what you need to do at that moment in time to fill the cup back up. Because, hun, I know you spend your days and your weeks and your months and your year pouring from that cup, pouring into everyone else. And sometimes you just need to take stock and refill that cup. So this, self-care is more about building a life you don't need to escape from, but creating those moments where you can re-energize and refill that cup. And sometimes that's going to be about saying no, and it's going to be about setting boundaries, and it's going to be about pushing back. But I don't want you to think of self-care as those things that help you to escape from your life, like the bubble baths and the spa days, but more, like I say, about building a life you don't need to escape from. So I have got some summer self-care strategies that I want to talk to you about. And if you haven't already, download my Cool, Calm and In Control Summer Guide. You'll find the link to do that in the show notes. My clients have been absolutely loving this guide for all the things that it contains. Helping you plan through your summer, helping you to be realistic with what it is that you can achieve, but also really helping you to be clear about what it is that you want to achieve. So if you haven't downloaded that, check the link in the show notes. It's completely free. I think it's about 11 pages of gold content that is going to help you to survive summer. So come and check that out in the show notes. And if you can't find it in the show notes, or you're listening to this and you're driving and you're thinking, I really want to do that, but I can't check the show notes now because it's dangerous, come and find me on social media. I'm at the Mum Boss Method on Instagram, Chrissy Hiller on Facebook. Come and find me, send me a message and I'll send you the link to download it. Okay, so I want to share with you 5 summer self-care strategies that are going to really, really help you to find those moments through the summer. And you know what? These are summer self-care strategies, but you can be using these anytime that you like. But when summer is particularly stretched, you know, because you're running the kids here, there and everywhere, as well as trying to work and as well as trying to keep them occupied, and then organise yourself your own holiday and things like that. These are like really micro moments that are going to help you. And actually the first one is those micro moments of calm. And this could look different for every single one of you, and it will look different for every single one of you, but it could be something like 5 minutes of alone with your coffee or your tea outside, just 5 minutes. I mean, I'm just imagining that now because I'm really hot, but 5 minutes at like 6:30 in the morning sitting outside with my cup of coffee, delightful. It's been so warm, I'd quite like that cool now. It could be having, you know, you might need to go into the bathroom, lock the door and take 5 minutes of deep breathing. It could be setting a no talk timer. This probably won't work with the younger ones, but sometimes I just get into the house after I've been really busy and I'm just like, can we just have silence for 10 minutes, please? Just no one talk to me. So thinking about those micro moments of calm that you can have, you know, for me, setting myself up in the morning in that way is absolutely like that. I can't do without that. If I miss a couple of days of that little calm sorting myself out in the morning, I find that I feel really off kilter. So even the days when I want to be in the gym at 6 o'clock and that means I get up at 5, I get up probably 20 minutes earlier than I really need to, just so that I can have 10 minutes with a cup of coffee in my office of peace and quiet. And you know what? I might even do, if it's not raining in the morning, I might do that outside tomorrow. So yes, 5 minutes. I do 10 minutes. You can do longer, you can do shorter. If it feels like 5 minutes feels like a stretch, 1 minute. Just do 1 minute. Number 2 in your summer self-care strategies is nourishment, not nonsense. So I think summer is one of those times where there's lots of picnics, there's lots of barbecues, there's lots of ad hoc like food situations, or you're travelling so everyone always has to have car snacks because it's the law. But your summer snacks don't have to sabotage you. So here I'm really thinking about, you know, this isn't even really about fat loss, right? This is just about keeping your energy. So many women that I speak to, they live on snacking. They have these tiny little breakfast, lunch and dinners, and then they literally graze their way through the day, and their energy is up, down, up, down, up, down. And I really want you to think about food not as the devil, not as the enemy, but food as nourishment, food as fuel. Okay, you can still enjoy it. Food is there to be enjoyed. We can still enjoy it, but it is nourishment. It is fuel. It is, like putting diesel in a petrol car. That car's not going to work. So we need to put the good stuff in the car. So yes, enjoy some of those car snacks. Yes, enjoy the picnic food, but also, can you think about what foods are really going to nourish you through the summer? So think about keeping your energy up. Protein smoothies. If you really don't have time for breakfast in the morning because you are rushing about here, there and everywhere, or you've got day trips or you're traveling or whatever, something like a smoothie is so quick and easy, and you can take it in the car with you. Think about hydrating foods as well. What can you be eating that is really going to hydrate you? Because over this weekend, I had Friday and Saturday, I woke up with such a headache. It was almost like being hungover. And I said to my best friend when we were in the gym on Saturday, I feel like I've drunk a bottle of wine. And she said, I know that you normally try not to drink too close to bedtime because you don't want to wake up weeing all night, but you do realise it's like 30 degrees, so maybe you need to drink a bit more. And I was like, she's not wrong. I'm drinking 3 or 4 litres, but I'm stopping drinking water at like 6 o'clock because I don't want to wake up weeing all night, and I'm waking up feeling like rubbish and with no energy, and it's because I'm dehydrated. I thought about it. I changed what I was doing Saturday and Sunday, and I've woken up both days absolutely fine. But hydrating food, so those foods that are full of water, so things like, fruit is great, watermelon is great, lots and lots of salad, lots of fruit and veg, all really, really hydrating. And then if you are really, really quite a sweaty person, I am, pop some electrolytes or some pink Himalayan sea salt in your... Pink Himalayan sea salt? I don't think that's right. Pink Himalayan salt. I've got some on my desk, actually. Hear that? I just pop that in my water, a little pinch in my water, and that can help to hydrate you. And then also remembering to have easy wins stocked and ready in the cupboards or the freezer. I always say to my clients, what is your... we've got nothing in the fridge, freezer or cupboards meal. For us in this house, it's always, we have always got pasta, we've always got frozen peas, and we've always got tuna. So if we need a last minute meal and we've literally got nothing, even though there's like two... That's a very loud helicopter plane. Even though we've got 2 shops like 90 seconds away from us, if we really needed to throw something together, we could. So what easy wins can you have stocked and ready so that you don't end up calling a takeaway when you want to call, when you can't be bothered to cook, or there's nothing in the cupboards? Always have something like that. I want you to think about joyful movement. So not workouts, because a lot of my clients are saying to me at the moment, with summer and things are a bit different for me over summer, I don't know how I'm going to get workouts in. Okay, so let's just think about, rather than talking about workouts, how can we reframe that? How can you move your body in a way that feels good? And this is something that I really think about when I'm on holiday. Every summer we go to France for 3 weeks, and it is hot there, like we've had here the last couple of days. If you don't do something by 8 o'clock, you really can't do it unless you've got a lot of shade, because it's just too hot. I don't set an alarm while I'm on holiday to get up and move my body. I'm not setting an alarm for 6 o'clock just to go for a run because it's cool enough then. So I wake up, I think about what's going to be best for my body. Sometimes that's a run, sometimes that's a weights workout, sometimes it's a body weight workout, sometimes it's a walk, sometimes, and depending on the pool that we have, I'll go and do some swimming in the pool. How can you move your body in a way that feels good? Like, think about walking, podcasts, audiobooks, that is also time for you. Think about garden dancing. Think about doing a little body weight workout in the garden. Use your movement as mood medicine. Last week I had a real focus on moving my body better, because the week before I'd really struggled to get to my steps with the heat. I'd struggled with my cardio. I was really tired. I was struggling. And last week I just put a little bit more intention on that movement. Smashed my steps, smashed all my workouts, did my cardio, and I felt so much better in terms of mood, productivity and energy. And I just think it's so important. I mentioned at the beginning of this boundaries and peace, and I want you to practice saying no to things that drain you. And yes, that sometimes means family, and yes, that sometimes means friends that you haven't seen in a long time. One of my clients last week told us in our group catch up that she had said no to going to a party that she really didn't want to go to, and it disappointed her husband and it disappointed her daughter, but she was setting her boundaries. She was looking after her own self-care, and while she felt terribly guilty initially, she did what was best for her in that moment. So yes, say no to things that drain you, that you don't want to do. And then set limits, and this can mean setting limits for you, setting limits for the kids. Doesn't matter whether they're 5 or 15. I have to do this with Charlie, so it could be screen time, and like I said, that could be screen time for the kids. It could be screen time for you. Oh, I don't have to get up for work in the morning, so I'll just sit scrolling for a little while longer. It could be things like, one of the things that I always say is, I'm not the only parent in this house. It's a bit different now, he's 14, but when he was younger, it was always, Mummy, I'm hungry, Mummy, I'm thirsty, Mummy, can we do this, Mummy, can we do that? And my husband would be sat right next to me. I'm like, there are 2 parents in this house, ask him. And then number 5 is play. And this is about playtime for you. So I want you to really think about, when was the last time you laughed? When was the last time you created? When was the last time you played? And the whole premise of this, I'm going to have to put my hair back. I am so hot. The whole premise of this podcast, I don't remember whether I actually finished this story or not, but I just had this really joyful weekend, and I can't tell you that there was a huge amount of things that happened. We went shopping as a family, not food shopping, clothes shopping. We had nice meals. I went out for a walk. I went out for lunch. I had some naps. I spent a total of about 8 hours reading across the whole weekend. The boys did some gaming together. We made homemade pizzas. Like, it was a real fill my cup weekend. And it just made me realise that I really laughed at times. I was creative. I did my version of play, which was reading. So how can you do some of this for you? Whether that's doing something with the kids, doing something with your friends, doing something with your partner, reading a book, watching a film that you haven't watched that you love, singing even if you can't sing, dancing, getting silly, whatever it is, like, take playtime for you and fill your cup. So they're my 5 tips. So micro moments of calm, nourishment, not nonsense, joyful movement, boundaries, and playtime for you. And I want to end by telling you why this is so important. This is so important not just because I know that you are a busy mum and you are a busy woman, and things feel chaotic a lot of the time, and it doesn't really matter whether it's summertime or whatever, things just feel crazy. I want you to remember that at this time of your life, and when I say this, I know that not all of my clients are perimenopausal mums. I know that. But I know from looking at my statistics that my clients, my listeners, looking at all of my numbers, the majority of you are in that age bracket. And if you're not, you're coming up to that age bracket. And if you're nowhere near that age bracket, one day you will be in that age bracket. And if you're past that age bracket, then it's even more time for you to take care for you. But I want you to remember that by taking care of your self-care, I'm not going to say my normal line of, well, I'm going to say it, but this isn't what I mean. I'm not going to say the show up for you so you can show up for them. I'm going to say to you that if you constantly hide from taking care of yourself, you will be the one that suffers first, but you will start to see that other people suffer. I have been a happier, freer, more chirpy version of myself in the last couple of days just because of the amount of self-care time that I spent at the weekend. Did it feel luxurious? Yes. I didn't work. I didn't do much work at all. That's really unusual for me. I think I did one load of washing, and you know what? I don't even think I did it. I think Tom did it. Yes, Tom did it. I didn't do much housework. I just had a really cup-filling weekend. And so what I want to leave you with is two things. I want you to pick one act of self-care that you can do today. Remember, it only has to take 5 minutes. And if you haven't done so already, I want you to go to the show notes or come and find me on social media, and I want you to download my Cool, Calm and In Control Summer Guide to help you plan and make a success of summer. Okay, that's all I have to say about this right now. Pick your one act of self-care. Make sure you're filling your cup. And you've got it. You've got this summer. I know you have. Have a good one. Bye.